Good evening and welcome. Heartbreak for India. Very, very close. Deepak Chahar. In Joydeep's words, he'd cooked the meal. Unfortunately, wasn't able to eat it. But what a fabulous effort from Deepak Chahar. Got India close. One hit away from victory, losing by 4 runs. Whitewash in the series for South Africa. But nonetheless, it was a very good game. Joydeep, first thoughts.
Yeah, it was, but again, disappointed not having won this game.
Yeah.
Keshav Maharaj bowling turnover was 38. How good was he in the series? Often he will not be in the man of the match, but man of the series. But 10-38-1, Virat Kohli at that time. These are the sort of performances that, win you games, win you series. It will not often be spoken about because he's not in the forefront. He's not the highest wicket taker. But these are impactful spells. Markram in previously, getting KL Rahul out. Today, how good was Keshav Maharaj in the middle? He was turning the ball. I still feel that this game, sometimes we overcomplicate it. I can't imagine Markram coming in just bowling his off spinners in one place. Whereas I feel when Ashwin bowls, he's trying so many things, the carom ball, this, that. It's T20. This is 50 over game. It's a long haul. Even if you get hit for one or two sixes, it doesn't matter. You can come back in the game. And for everybody, you want to take wickets. Spinners want to take wickets. Ashwin is a wicket taker. He's got 400 wickets in test matches. I think our bowlers were in the restricting run mode. To quote one of the greatest Indian captains, Saurav Ganguly, he always says that I want my bowlers to take wickets because if you don't take wickets, two guys might bowl 10 overs 40, but there'll be three other guys bowling 10-70. Somebody is
Okay,
facing the brunt of it.
let me stop you there, Johnny. Let's decode the game. Let's decode the game. Deepak Chahar. Has he done enough now? 2 wickets up front, swing. Most importantly, what he's known for, he was able to move the ball, bowled well up front. Malan,
Yeah,
edging, close, multiple
yeah.
times came close. And with the bat, we know he's handy. He's proved it time and again. Has he now done enough to pick Bhuvaneshwar Kumar for a start? Not as a third, match start or whatever, but at the start of the next series, is it Deepak Chahar for you?
It definitely is. It always was. Even with Shardul Thakur in the team, in white ball, Deepak Chahar is ahead of Shardul Thakur. In red ball, Shardul Thakur is ahead because Deepak Chahar's areas as a bowler is better. He bowls with the new ball in an Indian Premier League where his accuracy is his forte. He swings the ball. There are two new balls in play in 50 over cricket. So it's a 25 over old ball all through. So there's a lot he can do with the ball. He's handy with the bat. He played a loose shot today, but he knows how to get you out of tight situations. He's good on the field, and his batting actually is more solid, more stable than Shardul. Shardul is a bit chancy. If it gets up, nothing like it. In test matches with two slips, gully, a point, a short leg, his chance of getting away are more. In one day cricket, it's a little less. So I feel Shardul, this guy, Chahar is a better choice in white ball cricket than Shardul Thakur, ahead of
So,
Shardul
so
Thakur.
you are actually giving an answer. India was looking for answers. Yes, you've lost the series. That's okay.
Yeah,
Teams will
yeah,
have ups and downs, and you've lost the series. But you are actually giving an answer that Jasprit
yeah,
Bumrah and Deepak Chahar, more important,
yeah,
in an away series. And I was having a chat with Saurav Ganguly. And, this is, and again, you and I have had this chat. What is the logic of resting your best fast bowlers in an away series? Mohammad Shami could have been rested at home when spinners do the job. In the next
yeah.
series against West Indies or Sri Lanka, again, your spinners will be able to do the job. Is that a learning from this series that you do not rest your premier fast bowlers on an away tour?
Yes, and you keep them in the squad. Whether you play them or not is different. But when you see you're in a tight corner, the first game hasn't gone your way, they should be with you in the squad to be able to play game two, game three, need be. So we've lost the test series, but we've already selected the one-day squad while the test series was going on. So we don't know how the test series is going to pan out. Now you've lost the test series 2-1, and in the one-day series, you've left some of your main bowlers out, and then you're playing with your second line of bowlers, and then you're again playing against a very, very solid, I wouldn't say a very strong, but a very solid, disciplined South African side. And again, just the fact that we need our best team to play. South Africa in South Africa, Australia in Australia, New Zealand, New Zealand, England in England. These four countries, you have to play your best team. It's about the
Okay,
country.
KL Rahul at the top. Do we have an answer now that in white ball cricket he has to bat middle order? and as captain, he was putting more pressure on himself. With Rohit back at the top of the order, it will be Rohit and obviously, Virat at 3, then giving what KL Rahul had done. KL Rahul had done in the last 2 years at number 5. Shreyas Iyer still not a finished product in 50 over cricket. Is it KL Rahul for you in the middle order, Joydeep? Joydeep, if you could hear me. Is there an audio issue? Joydeep, can you hear me? Okay, I'll get back to Joydeep. Swapnil, in the interim, can you please play Anand Basu's match report from the Newlands in Cape Town? Anand Basu was the only Indian journalist. He sent his match report. Swapnil, can you play that and get Joydeep reconnected, please?
In the end, India couldn't even manage a consolation win at the end of this series. Swept 3-0 by South Africa. Quinton de Kock's 124 set the game up. 287 was a stiff target for India, and they needed some firepower at the top of the order. They simply did not get that. Shikhar Dhawan got some runs, Virat Kohli got some runs, both got half centuries, but they took their time getting there, and both got out just when they were getting set and needed to carry on and make a big one and make it count. It looked like South Africa was running away with the game until Deepak Chahar came in at number 7, clattered the ball all over the park for 54 from only 34 balls. But when he got out, India's tail simply didn't have it in them to get across the line. Jasprit Bumrah batting at number 9 gives you an indication that there's not much more to come with Yuzvendra Chahal and Prasidh Krishna. And it was close in the end. South Africa winning by 4 runs, but all credit to them for putting together an all-round performance, stitching together the kind of details that you need to get across the line in a tight one-day international. India leave now from South Africa 2-1 in the Test series and 3-0 in the one-dayers. This is not something anyone would have predicted at the start of the tour, but that's how it's gone.
Joydeep, the question that I was asking before that internet issue is KL Rahul at the top. Do you now have an answer that you need to get KL Rahul back to number 5 in the middle order with Rohit back at the top? Last 2 years, he was excellent in 50 over cricket in the middle order. Where do you see KL Rahul going forward?
I see KL at 4. I see Virat at 3. Ideally, I would want to see Virat at 4 with the maturity that he has, with the range that he has, with what he can do. He can do anything with a cricket bat in hand. We know that. So ideally, I would want him at 4 and KL at 3 and Rohit and Shikhar to open. But if that doesn't happen, I know that's a tall ask. So I would want KL at 4, Surya at 5 and Pant at 6. Because today it was clear that you cannot play that shot at number 4 with 150 runs to go.
Yeah, and that was my next question, that from the sublime to the ridiculous, as far as Rishabh is concerned, how do you deal with him? Extraordinary talent. Nobody doubts him. Fantastic talent, but somehow, somewhere, the consistency, maybe the head, not a finished product, somewhere, somewhat down the line. Does Rahul Dravid talk to him, saying you're too good, you can't waste your opportunities like that? How do you deal with a talent like Rishabh Pant?
But yeah, I don't think he would have played this shot if he hadn't got runs in the last game. This is also about what he did in the last game, and he's taking that mindset into it. If he doesn't score in 2-3 games, he plays differently. Once he gets runs and comes and plays differently, and sometimes that pays off, sometimes it doesn't. Now, as good as he is, it reminds me of Yuvraj Singh when he first came. But there was Saurav Ganguly, there was Tendulkar, there was Dravid, there was people like other Sehwag, senior players on his ear, telling him how to bat at 5 and 6. Because when Yuvraj first came, cut from the same cloth as Rishabh Pant, I love the guy. There is no, two opinions about the talent that is and what he can do. But batting is all about playing 70, 80 balls. And having too much of T20 cricket, sometimes, see, if you give him 150 runs in a T20 game, that's probably he's batting in the 4th or 5th over, or maybe the 6th over. But here, he's batting in the 25th, 22nd over with 150 runs to go. So it's still a long haul. And he's prepared. I can understand him trying to hit a left-arm spinner over long on, get caught at long on, I can understand. But this was a nothing shot. This was getting nowhere. A slash outside off stump. We've seen the greats get out to spinners, trying to step out, hit them over long on, or get stumped. One is the plan, one is the execution. Here the plan was wrong. If the execution is wrong, I can understand that. The plan was right, didn't execute well. It was not my day. That is pardonable. If the plan is wrong, that's trouble.
And what about Shreyas Iyer? 3 out of 3. 3 opportunities, 3 failures.
Very loose. Again, this is the reason why I wanted Surya. I know he got only 39, but how good did he look? Strike rate over 118-20 without even looking like he's trying to score runs. So somebody with like him at number 4 or number 5 now, if once Rohit comes in, gives you a little more stability. With stability, what I mean is, some things come with age, Boria, as you well know. And Pant is as young as he is. Even Shreyas Iyer hasn't played a lot of 50 over cricket, but somebody like a Surya is 31. He's played a lot of 50 over cricket. He's got these matches out of a hole. And he, mind you, has also played in the middle order in the Indian Premier League. He batted at 6 for KKR, 5 for KKR, and was phenomenal. So he knows what the formula of batting in the middle is. It's a totally different formula from batting in the top 3. So Rishabh
are we then saying that it's Rohit, Shikhar, Virat, KL, Surya and Pant? Is this series giving us the answer going forward about our white ball formula?
Absolutely. 7 Jadeja, 8 Chahar. That's a solid team.
Okay. So two important questions. You've now seen KL Rahul, the captain. There was a clamor about who should become I think we've got an answer that he's not a finished product as captain. Rohit needs to be captain. Clearly, that is the answer. Let KL be groomed for a couple of years, by which time he will be ready to take over the mantle. Thoughts?
See, you had a great question this afternoon in the pre-match. You were saying between the two Rahuls, KL Rahul has been with the Indian team for a long time. He knows the mantra of the team. He knows that the pulse that they play in. The other Rahul, which is Dravid, has just come into the team. So he's going to be given some time. But KL haven't played under Virat, haven't played in this golden era, won everywhere in white ball cricket. He knows the pulse, the way we play. And that was clearly missing. We were very sedate on the ground while batting, while fielding, while bowling. I'm not saying you have to jump around, but the aggression was missing. And it's probably because KL's nature is like that. Again, Rohit's nature, you know him really well, good friend of yours. He's not a really aggressive guy, but on a cricket field, you have to be aggressive. That's international cricket.
But Rohit has this aura about him. When he's out there, the presence of Rohit Sharma. If you really know, what I mean by presence. I do.
I do.
Say somebody like not everybody is as expressive, but even if you are not as expressive like a Virat Kohli, you will still have that aura and the presence about you which Rohit Sharma has. So straight question. My answer as far as Indian captaincy goes, all formats, take away from the series. Rohit is already captain in white ball. I am saying Rohit should be captain in red ball as well. We've got our answer from this series with KL as deputy. Not Rishabh, but KL. So Rohit and KL will be my top 2. Your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you because I don't think we have much of a choice as well. If you look at the team right now, whether it's in red ball or white ball, we are not spoiled for choice, number one. Number two is you made a very good point that, Rohit is not very expressive on the field. But sometimes if it's a quiet word under in the ear of a bowler or a batter in the field, it does the job. I've played with captains, with players who will come and give you a mouthful or get the message across in a stern way without showing any emotion. You can't even make out. He'll put your hand around your shoulder and tell you exactly what you need to be told, which gets the job done. That's what Rohit does. Because you don't win 5 IPLs.
He's won tournaments. He's won
I was coming to that. You don't wear 5 IPLs. Yeah, I was coming to that. I said, you don't win 5 IPLs, just be nice to people. I have no problem you being nice. I know KL is a superb guy, and so is everybody in the team. I love them to bits. They're playing for our country. They are our heroes. But at the same time, it's the job that they're supposed to do. And somebody asked me the other day that, okay, Shardul is getting a lot of runs. What about that? I said, if your main cook in your house does the dusting really well, that doesn't help because the food you eat three times a day is not good enough. So your primary skill has to be really good. Here, KL, he is the future, but right now he will learn in his second time he comes as captain, proper captain, because I think Rohit will take over now. And in the time he will be deputy to Rohit, he will learn how to get the job done without being aggressive physically, because that's not his nature.
One thing that stood out in this particular series, South African spinners outbowled Indian spinners. That is something that, Ravichandran Ashwin, quality. Yuzvendra Chahal, quality. But Keshav Maharaj, Aiden Markram, South African spinners outbowled the
Samsi.
Indian spinners. Shamsi, we've got to take this, and there is a learning there for Indian spinners as well. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought I was most disappointed with Ashwin and Chahal. Ashwin, I thought, in this version, what he can do in a test match. I somehow thought that Ashwin was in the back foot. He was trying to protect runs. If Ashwin is thinking of bowling 10 overs 50-0, then that's not the right mindset, in my opinion, because he should be 10 overs 55-3-4, because he has that capability. He has the quality to do that. And in the 10-55-4, he will actually end up getting 10-45-4, because once you get wickets, the run flow comes down. And Ashwin, I thought, didn't bowl his stock ball, which is the off spinner. Markram bowled, every ball was an off spinner. It's just with the new ball, one went straight with the arm, the one that got KL out in the first game. He didn't know about that. He just bowled an off spinner, fell on a grassy top and just skidded through. And even if you see Keshav Maharaj, one ball turned from middle stump, which Virat Kohli got beat. And you could make out the two batters, the mindset change, because I've been a batter myself, and I know when there's one ball that turns, that's one worm in your head, and you're thinking, oh my God, one turn. Now you are messed up because you don't know. Every ball is coming straight. That one ball turned, okay, that's a beautiful release. And how accurate were the spinners? That was the main thing for me.
Is it because Ashwin was coming back after a long time in white ball cricket? Was he feeling the pressure that, what, I've been messed up with? Because Ashwin is just too good. Nobody can question the quality of Ashwin.
No.
But is it because he's been messed up with the last 2 years, not handled well, making a comeback? Is it that?
Yeah, it is that. You've hit the nail on the head. It is that, because now he's thinking that I'm going to take 4 wickets every game. So, okay, I bowled 2 overs, 11 runs, no wicket. Oh my God, let me try this one, and then one more 4 leaks, and then he get into a black hole. Now, if you tell Ashwin that he's going to play the next 21 days, he came and just does his job the way he does. If this ball was played with white clothing and red ball, Ashwin would have been awesome. So it's a mindset issue.
Okay. Last 3 minutes on my show, Joydeep. Let's now review the series together. Red ball, white ball going forward. We are playing Sri Lanka. We are playing West Indies. We are playing a lot of white ball, and we are playing 2 test matches. Straight question. Does Pujara and Rahane feature in your red ball team or not?
Rahane doesn't. Pujara still might, because Pujara actually is not batting that badly, but Rahane is looking woefully out of form. Pujara still, till he's batting, is looking good. I'm not saying it's the answer, because I don't know a number 3 in India right now. I do not have the answer for a red ball number 3 right now. I don't know if Hanuma Vihari, he doesn't bat 3 for his state, for his zone. So I don't know 3 of the place, unless we go Mayank, KL and Rohit, 1, 2, 3. I'm okay with that.
Why wouldn't you try Shubman at 3?
Because he's played in Test cricket and he's had issues in Test cricket, which is why he's been left out. So he's again got to get tons of runs in every form of the game and then come back. But Mayank, he's had a poor series, but he's got a lot of important runs. Agreed that outside the subcontinent, he hasn't got much runs, not in Australia, not in England. So it will have to come to a point where, you find your long term. You can't get a number 3 for away series and a different number 3 for home series. It doesn't work like that. A number 3 is the most important batsman in any Test match team. We look at the number 3s in the world that have played, the Pontings, the Dravids, the best of them bat as number 3. He's the one who holds the team together. So it's very important for us. So at 5, I think Iyer can play, Hanuma Vihari can play. There are a bunch of guys who can play, but I'm not sure.
But
number
the
3.
question that you are saying is Pujara remains your stopgap option. I mean, if you don't try someone now at home, then when you go abroad again, and you are not going abroad, you're playing Australia at home, given India's calendar in the next year and a half, isn't this the time to groom someone at 3 rather than blooding that person in an away tour?
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that. If the management decides that we're going to go with Shubman Gill at 3 or Mayank at 3 and have KL and Rohit open, then I'm okay with that. But it's going to be a long haul, because Pujara also played a lot of home series before he went away. So we saw Suresh Raina replace Saurav Ganguly home series. They said the next Ganguly is here. In a year's time, Ganguly was back in the team. So it's only when we go outside the subcontinent we get to know who our number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6 are. So it is not, again, till we go away, we will know whether we've got the answer to the question or not. But I would either play, if I'd go with Pujara, if they're against Pujara and they don't want to go with him, then I'll go with either Mayank or Shubman Gill at 3.
So, okay, from what I get from you, Pujara still has a lifeline. Ajinkya Rahane, you want to look beyond and get either a Iyer or a Hanuma Vihari at number 5 in that Ajinkya Rahane position. Okay, T20 cricket. Ultimately, this year's major format, because we have a World Cup coming.
Yeah.
Our team really needs to start getting together from the next series, 3 games in Kolkata. The 3
Yeah.
T20s, India needs to get everything together from there on. Who are your bowlers? Do you see a Ravi Ashwin there? Do you see a Deepak Chahar there in the T20 format? Because in Dubai, for example, in the World Cup, India looked timid. In the words of Saurav, India looked scared. Does a Hardik Pandya make a comeback? He's bowling, he's batting, he's almost there. He will play the IPL as captain, as an all-rounder. How do you look at the season coming, Jagdeep?
Yeah, Hardik Pandya, if he bowls, there's nobody even close to him because we know how valuable he is, but he has to bowl. And not bowl at 125, 130, bowl at 140, which he was capable of. Once Hardik Pandya does everything, he's the most valuable player in the Indian team. And I'm saying this with utmost due respect to everybody because what he can do with bat, what he can do with ball, and he's a brilliant fielder, he's a national athlete, so everything going for him. And he's a guy who likes a fight. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. You want to enter into a battle with a guy like him. He likes to scrap. And as far as bowling is concerned, yes, I feel Deepak Chahar has a place because you know how handy is he with the bat. He is very good with the new ball. You can bowl his, if you have some death bowling specialist, Bumrah is one. But if you have another one there, then you can bowl 3 for him in the power play. Then you can bowl 1 in the middle. In the middle, anybody can bowl. These guys are so good. But the question there will be who are our spinners. Chahal has to be a spinner. I still feel the role of finger spinner, except a Jadeja, who's, again, with the batting and fielding and everything else. Your 2 premier spinners in the team have to be people who can get wickets. Chahal for me, and I really feel that somewhere along the line, you have to look at Kuldeep as well, because he's a guy who can get you wickets. He's, again, a wrist spinner. He can turn the ball on any wicket. He's had a bit of a rough ride, but that's what good teams do, good boards do, that they help him around because he has something to give to
the last question. If you were Rahul Dravid, you've got to go back to the drawing board. The honeymoon is over. You have the questions in front of you. You don't have too much time for answers because within a month and a half, you're going to the IPL. Then you go to England for that remainder, that 1 test match. You've got to clinch that test match to win that series. And then in no time comes the World Cup again. So if you were Rahul Dravid, thoughts at the end of the series?
Yeah, saw some grey hair, a lot more grey hair at the end of this match than when the series started. But that's being part of the coach. But I have no doubt in my mind that he will get this sorted. He's still sort of, sussing out what's going on. He's very new to the system. He wasn't part of the team. He wasn't traveling with the team. He doesn't know the culture of the team. So he's sussing it out. And it'll be interesting to see if there are some hard calls to be taken. It's not easy to, leave behind people like Pujara and Rahane, who've been icons for the country, played over 80, 85 test matches, 90 test matches, won India test matches, captained India as Rahane has done. But, it'll be interesting to see as a coach, the hard calls that he takes. And once he takes that, he will have given, like in football managers all over the world, they're given 6 months, a year to set their team. And then you can start assessing him.
To end, plenty of questions for Rahul Dravid than answers, and that's very natural. He's had 4 captains in 8 games since he's taken over. Just imagine, he had a Rahane, he had a Rohit, he had a Kohli, and he had a Rahul. That's how, Indian cricket is in a bit of a flux at the moment. 3-0, not a good scoreline. We all know that. But every team goes through a period of transition. India is. If you look at this side, they are now going because the captains moved on. Rohit wasn't there. Some senior pros weren't there. So this is a team that will get its mojo together. All of us have that belief in Rahul Dravid. This series, over and done with, as we said, plenty of questions, and we've got to answer them come the next series. Joydeep and I will be back along with Anand and our entire team, Prantik and our team for the next series. But before that, a lot of cricket will come on this particular platform for you. Lots of exclusives. We'll build up to the IPL auction. We'll build up to the West Indies series. We'll build up to the Sri Lanka series and deep dive. What does Indian cricket need to do from here? Joydeep, thank you very much as always for your company. Yes, not the best night, but Deepak Chahar made it very interesting. Cook the meal didn't have it. Feel for him because he really was gutted. That's the kind of intent we want to see in Indian cricketers. Thank you very much, Joydeep, once again for joining.
Pleasure.